everyone, Debbie here. Welcome back to Barossa Valley Crafts. So this is number 18 of 25 Christmas gift card tags. So today we're going to be using alcohol inks and doing a technique called the alcohol lift. So we're going to be using the Lavinia Christmas Eve tree, which is LAV020. We're going to be using Couture Creations alcohol inks, Purple Twilight and Caribbean, and the blending solution. And we're going to be using the alcohol lift ink and a brayer. So all this is done on Yupo paper. Now for those that don't know what Yupo paper is, it's a synthetic paper that's non-porous. So if you were to try and put your alcohol inks onto normal cardstock, it would just absorb into it. Because Yupo paper is a synthetic paper and it's got like a plastic coating, the ink will not soak into it, and that will allow you to move the colour around on the card. So the colours we're going to be doing, as I said, are Purple Twilight and Caribbean, and they have so many different colours. And we're just going to pop some of them on here, and we'll do the Caribbean, and then we'll add some blending solution and just watch those colours move. Now you can move it, leave it like that and just let it sit, or you can move it around, or you can get a little foofer to help move the colour around. And just sit some paper under this so it doesn't go on my craft mat. So I'm just going to spread that around over the Yupo paper. Now it doesn't take too long to dry because of the alcohol in it. When you're using this, be in a really well ventilated room because it can actually be quite fumy. Okay. So now we need to wait for that to dry. Now with Yupo paper being what it is, you can't heat it. If you do, it will melt the paper. So now we've just got to wait for this to dry. So maybe we'll fan it. I should have done a second one, and here's one I prepared earlier. Okay, so I can see it drying off. I've just got to wait for it to dry. And with these inks, you could do the same colours 100 times and you will never get the same pattern twice. It's still drying. Okay, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to use my heat gun from a distance to see if we can dry it off a bit quicker. So I'm just moving it over very quickly so it's not really heating the paper too much. There we go, I can see that drying now. There we go. Now that's not even hot or warm because I was doing it very quickly. So next step with this, we're going to use the alcohol lift ink. So we're going to just run that along the top of the card, and then using a brayer, we're just going to spread that lift ink down the card. Like so. Now the reason I'm doing this is it's very hard to stamp onto Yupo paper. So by doing this, we're going to put it onto some cardstock, and that will lift the alcohol ink onto the paper, onto the card, and then we can stamp it. Because Yupo paper being what it is, when you try and stamp on it, it's very, very hard to dry. So there you go. So you can see where it was taken from. So now you can use that if you want to. You can wipe that off, and you can use that same piece of Yupo paper again for something else. So I'm going to just pop that aside, and that's what we're left with. So that's our lift from the alcohol Yupo paper, alcohol ink Yupo paper. So now we can stamp on that. So I'll bring my stamping press in, but before I do that, I'm just going to clean my brayer off because I've got that alcohol lift ink on it and I don't want it to dry on there. So I'm just going to clean that off my brayer. Okay. Now, let's open this up. You can do some stunning work with alcohol ink. Yeah, I'll just put this tree, so I'll do it about there. So we'll pop that on there. Yeah, pick it up. Now I'm going to stamp it with VersaFine Clear Nocturne. So I'll just ink up the stamp. And push that onto the card. Allow it to soak in. And there we have it. So I'm just going to move this. But what I'm going to do now, just to show you, so this is the Yupo paper. Now if I try and ink this, I'll just ink it up just to give you an idea on what happens. So I'm going to stamp it onto the Yupo paper, but it's not dry. So because it's non-absorbent, it won't allow the ink to soak in. You can use an ink pad called StazOn, but once you've stamped it, you need to let it sit there, and it could take a day or so for the ink to dry on the Yupo paper. So that's why we do the alcohol lift, so we can stamp it onto the cardstock. Okay, so now I'm going to pop a hole up the top here for the ribbon. And just pop this on here. Oops. Oh, more thumbs today. Try again. Okay. So you could leave it at that then, and that's all done. But what I'm going to do, I've got some gold stickles here, and I'm just going to decorate the little spots on the tree with some gold stickles to give it a bit of shine, a bit of decoration. If you don't have this, you could just colour it in, coloured pencils or textures. Just do that until you're happy with it. And I will add a link in the description below to my YouTube, Facebook groups. If you'd like to join, you're more than welcome. And we'll do a bit on the star as well. There we go. And if you want to, you could even dot it around. And actually, let me grab another one. Here we go. We've got a white pearl one here. Let's just dot some around so it's like snow. There we go. So this sort of stuff takes a while to dry, so you need to just put it aside and allow it to dry. And then it's ready to put your greetings on the back. So there it is, all done. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please do give me the thumbs up. And we will see you tomorrow. And we will do number 19 of 25. Thank you for joining me. Bye.